Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for the Northwest Divide, the weekly show that brings a Mancunian and a Scouser in one building, and we talk all things football. James, what are you saying?
Saeed, my guy. How are you, sir?
What are you telling me?
Bro,
what are you telling me?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, you know. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's I'm getting over the weekend. You know, when
Yes.
you get to about Tuesday or Wednesday,
I feel
it
you.
kind of
Tuesday, Wednesday feeling.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm in my stride. I'm feeling positive.
Momentum's
It's near
going.
the weekend. Momentum's going. You know what I mean? Life is good, and we're gonna think about Saturday. And Saturday's a new day in football, and it brings positivity.
Where
What are
Man
you saying, my
United get absolutely smashed again. I agree, Saeed. Nah, you know what? That's a nice vibe. That's a nice
Listen,
vibe.
if that happens against Nottingham Forest, mate, I might be done. I might be done with football. I
Alanga
genuinely might.
to finish you, mate. You know.
Bro, Ilanga, I could just see it skipping past Wan-Bissaka and then scores. Oh my God, man. It's
Oh my
serious,
days.
man. It's serious. But now, big up to you, James, man. I know you've been
Big
doing a
up.
lot of streams. You did one before League on a stream. You did League on a stream. So listen, this guy is a hard-working YouTuber I've seen out there now. You know what I mean? So, James, make sure you follow him, people, man. Subscribe to this channel. Link is in the description. But
My guy.
man, where shall we start? Shall we start on the apparent Sheikh Jassim takeover?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying to you? Because,
the
oh my God.
millionth time. Let's get into this ownership shit.
Millionth time. So basically, Neil Custis, who is close to Man United, he's close in that aspect. You know, you've got your Liverpool journalists who are close to the football club. You know what I mean? And they've been there and done it. But he's apparently saying that Manchester United and the Sheikh Jassim takeover could happen as soon as mid-October. And I'm like, that's around my birthday. I'm like, don't get me
happy
too
birthday,
excited.
by the way, broski. How old are you, lad? Only 21 or so?
Well, we're getting 30 now. It's a magic 3-0. We're in the dirty 30s, man. So, yeah, man. I'll be 30 in October. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
off. Saeed, I thought you were like 27.
Bro, listen.
Lad, by the way, if I didn't know that, I thought you'd have been younger, innit? But I didn't know you were 30. Lad, when we first met, you were 30. Well, obviously you were 30. I'm not trying to sound
When I met you, was about 26, 27. We met around 4 years ago, remember?
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Bro,
crazy.
Time's going quick.
But you know, the genes,
Jeez.
you know, the genes are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, shout out to the mumsy. Shout out to the mumsy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the genes are doing well. You know what I mean? But yeah, listen, I think this is all a PR spin. When you know me, when you know how gassed I can get and how shameless I can get.
Nah, if you're saying this, I'm on it.
If I'm saying it's a whole load of dross here and it's a whole load of PR spin, what does it say? What does it mean for everyone else that are getting excited by this news? I've heard day after day after day, and for me, I just can't see it right now. I wish I was proven wrong, and one day I wake up and the Glazers are gone. But people, don't get too excited because I've been here before. I've been wooled over. I've been led on, and it's not good, man. You know what I'm saying to you? It's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so, yeah, James, man, I don't know what you think of that, bro, but
I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
Sorry, can I tell you I'm proud of you? You know, do you want me to tell you why I'm proud of you?
Go on.
I'm so proud of you, in fact, because you're using this, and I like that from you, Saeed. I like the fact that you're using this. You're my guy. Do you want me to tell you something? You've got to analyse. You've got to ask the question, okay, then. Is there an incentive for Glazers here? Because if you think about it, it's been a rather underwhelming window. I think, bar Onana, there's maybe a lot more disappointments than goods. And I think when you add that on top of the Mason Greenwood news recently, and then you add that on top of a few other things that might be going on at the club, the questions around Ten Hag, you're thinking, okay, it's getting a little bit bad again. Now, what happens when things get bad? We need to now give them a little bit of something good. It's just the way it is. It's actually a smart way to do business. I'm not discouraging it, but that's the way it is. So, okay, 100%. Then let's ask the question. The incentive here for the Glazers is, okay, let's dangle the carrot. Or notice the way the wording, after the transfer window. Okay, then. So let's say you don't get any transfers, But this is the news between now and the end of the window. That's now
Yeah.
something for the United fans to talk about, and let's both agree, look forward to. Here's where I raise a question. I struggle on a couple of things. I struggle on the fact that the Glazers supposedly want to sell, and then simultaneously, this Sheikh Jassim wants to buy. So they want to buy, they want to sell. I'm struggling to understand the issue here. That's my first thing.
Mm.
Now, I understand it's not as easy as just getting a bank card and putting it on the machine and then it's done. I get that. But I just mean, I'm still surprised it's taken this long. So that's the first worry. And then the second thing is they can easily say after the window, well, now it's going to take till the end of the season. You know?
Easy. 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 That's what they can
Simply.
do. They could just it's again, yeah. Listen, when you look at mid-October, again now, it can compensate the fact that they might not sign a player. So then people will say, you know what? Because that's what a lot of people didn't start. A lot of people are giving me scenarios. What if the Glazers don't buy anyone, but it means they leave? Would you take that? I'm like, bro, we need both. We want the signings and we want them to go. So this is what they did first to us. And everyone was like putting scenarios, hypotheticals in. Now it's like, oh, but if it means they don't buy anyone, but they go in mid-October, is that a good feeling for United fans? I'm seeing that on the timeline. I'm like, hold on a minute. What about this season? Are you just going to neglect this season like it's not even here? What are you lot doing?
I
Like for
think
me, this idea, they should have been gone in April. They
if you were
said they were
genuinely
leaving.
selling the club, I think that would make more sense, you know. If you were genuine, this is why I don't believe you're that right now. I don't think you're selling the club right now because if you was, I don't think they would spend. Why are you going to make renovations to a house that you're moving out of in a month? You get what I'm saying?
Bro,
Chat, you
season
understand me?
ticket price went up. Season ticket price went up. The seat next to me now is a corporate seat, and I hate it by the way because I just feel like for me they just don't really care as much as the guys that go in week out. They've changed it. It's all leather seats. They've done so many things around Old Trafford. They've built
Yep,
new Wi-Fi. They've done so many things, and I
that's
just think
right.
to myself, hold on a minute, it don't make sense. And then obviously the situation with the Greenwood thing as well. It's that news has happened and everyone's absolutely pissed off about the situation, how they've dealt with it. How do we then rectify it? You know what? Let's pull out a story about the takeover issues and it
Let's
could just
change the
deflect
topic of
everything.
conversation.
Well,
Let's
there you
change
go.
the topic of conversation that Man United fans are more willing to engage in. Because then it
That's
takes
what I'm
your eyes
trying to
off the
say.
transfer window, and then it takes your eyes off the Greenwood thing. They're the most two important things that you probably need to talk about right now, because I think there's still a lot of unresolved details around the Greenwood thing. Even though I think it was the
Yep.
right decision to let him go for him and for the club, I still think there's a lot of things that could either help Greenwood or at least make more clear for people trying to understand that situation.
Yeah.
And then the transfer window. I understand someone said in the comments, well, they need to keep the value up, James, to obviously sell it for the maximum price. But I'm sure there's an estimated fee on what both would
Bro,
agree with. And
value.
again, I don't think
Value.
Sheikh Jassim is sitting there like worrying about an extra 100k or two, bro. Like I
Bro,
just don't
listen,
think he is.
I've messaged this guy, by the way. You know his son. I don't know if you know his son, Sheikh.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
He follows me, yeah, and
yep.
bro, he just airs my comments. Like, you know what it is? I'll message him. Yo, this guy, by the way,
Now, fair play to say, hey,
I'm trying to
chat,
help the cause.
you've got to appreciate the effort, though. That's actually a belted effort from Saeed right there.
Bro, I'm here.
Man's getting in
He
the family
follows me, right?
roots.
He followed me randomly. I was like, who's this guy? Funny. I was like, it's probably some fan page about, you know what I mean, the ownership. So I followed
Yeah,
back, yeah. And then I actually seen he was credible. Then I found out he was the son of Sheikh Jassim. So I was like, yo, let me just, let me see if I can answer the question. And bro, my man just airs it. He airs it. He airs every single message. And I don't pester him every single day, like blah blah blah,
yeah,
spamming him. I'll do it once every other week, every two
innit?
weeks. I'll be like, what's going on? I've seen a little bit of news. What's going on? What's happening, mate? And then he'll just air it. He'll just be like, seen. But he'll watch my stories. He'll look at my profile and watch my
Yeah,
stories, but won't kind of engage in anything like to do with that. And probably it's because they're on NDA and they can't really say anything. And he doesn't trust that I'm going to relay that information on, which is fair enough because that's what happens in life.
that's
But
right.
bro, it's one of them where I don't want to get too excited because I know once I get excited, bro, it's gonna go off, and I have to just relax, simmer down, when you hear the news, you hear the news because it happened with you lot. Remember when you lot were getting the Qataris? Who was it? Was it the actual same
It's
Qatar?
worse with you guys, though. Now, we never had anything concrete like that. You actually had teams bidding for you or like owners bidding for you. We never had none of that. Our owners weren't serious about it. Now you've got to raise the question, are your owners serious about it? I think they were just trying to buy themselves some time to maybe make the situation right with Ten Hag. And then as long as you have a good project with Ten Hag, then there's something that the fans can leech on. You know, the Glazers will never get a better asset than what they've got right now. They're going to want absolute top dollar for that. And it's their price. It's what they want. You know what I mean? It's not about what Sheikh Jassim is happy to pay. It's about what the Glazers want. And I don't think the Glazers, just because this dude's Qatari and has got a lot of money, are going to just roll over on the belly and say, here you go. You can have our football club for a discounted price. We want this price. And at the same time, I do think there's a big incentive there to pointlessly engage with these negotiations. But the result in your mind can always be, we're not going to sell. But we'll engage because it creates headlines, something else that can be a topic of conversation. And if the chat don't see the benefit of changing the topic of conversation from Greenwood or from the transfers to a new set of owners, which is what everyone wants, then you need to reanalyze how people at the top control business and keep everyone in check. Because that's just the way it is in all authoritative roles. It happens in governments, it happens above governments, and then it happens in football. It's important to keep everyone in line. You know, make sure that you have people who are going to invest and aren't going to think. You don't want thinkers. You want people who are going to go there and add their part, whether it's a fan paying for tickets or whether it's someone working for the club. So, yeah,
especially now.
That's the way I see it.
Yeah, man. It's just, again, like I said, we need change because when you look at the other side of Manchester and when you see what they're doing, as much as I can shout 115 charges, which I will do probably every day, but I'm just like, yo, man, like we need to see that we're growing and we are gonna be that next club that does something. Because at the end of the day, it's not well. The structure of the football club's not there. We've still got a Lee Caruth. You know what I mean? This football club needs the Glazers gone. And yes, we've spent $1 billion. I'm not going to deny that. People, when they say to me, but the Glazers, how they're a problem, it's how you spend that money. They've spent it poorly.
Right.
Whereas Man City have spent it wisely. And that's where I get it. The banter is, why are you crying about Glazers? Like, I don't do this situation where when we lose a game, I'll say Glazers out. I don't do that.
United fans word it wrong. We do it as well. We
They
say we
word
don't
it
spend
wrong.
money.
Yeah, they don't do it right, man. And I think sometimes that's where people laugh at us. They're like, oh, he's blaming the Glazers now. Get your Norwich scarves out. No, when you analyze it in its entirety after and you understand what's going on, then you can say, right, it's not working out. We've not done this, we've not done that. But don't blame it after the result. Like, that's why I don't think it should be happening. But when you look at it in terms of success versus success and our relative failure to their relative success in Man City, it is down to the Glazers because they've done it poorly and they've done it well. So it is what it is, man. Absolutely. Guys, nearly 1,000 people in here. Make sure you guys are liking the video, people. We've just passed 150 likes. Make sure you smash the like button on the video.
200, by the way, come on. Let's not be stingy.
I'm just getting some breaking news, apparently. Man City are after Eze. Oh, this is a very, very interesting move.
Oh, what a signing. I'm all for it, not going to lie. I'm all for that, right, lad.
That is a big signing. Weighing up a move for Eze. Fair play. What do you reckon of that, bro?
Be a solid one. I think that'd be a quality signing. A quality signing. Him and Doku, yeah, there's some saucy signings, them, lad. Don't mind if I did. I think he's as close to a Mahrez like for like as you're going to get. And I know there's differences between the players, but I just mean that flair, that element of being able to do something by yourself, you know, that sort of burst of pace. I think they both got that in abundance, just in different ways. I think Eze can come in and cause problems. And of course, they are looking for a Paqueta alternative. And I think, you know, if you're giving me the option of Eze or Paqueta, I'm really thinking about it, especially when you consider the value for money in that. But I do also know that Crystal Palace are being very stingy right now on who they're keeping and selling. Like, for instance, we're linked with Decore and they're trying to, like, say, 80 million and that. And I'm like,
what? That's what I'm saying, man. These football clubs like know your role in it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Now get on this side. All the smaller club fans say like, "Oh no, FFP is bad for this, that, and the other." Sorting you out now, your tits. Like everything, and also the increased Premier, like the same people who come up with these rules, like the Premier League and the FA and all that. Like the Premier League are also like giving these clubs like so many funds just for being in the Premier League, which is great because it makes it more competitive. But then it also causes a lot of issues for us big teams to like go and buy their play, because that's the way we do it. We buy the best players from the bottom bunch and hope for the best. But now,
Yeah.
like, they're all costing like 100 million. How the fuck are we supposed to survive? That was funny. That know your role. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
No, man, you got to know your role, man. People have been noticing that. I do say that word a lot now. People have got to know their roles, man. And for me, yeah, with Eze, I can see around 60 million because I think for me he's better than Mount. I
Yeah,
don't know about you, yeah, but I think Eze is a better footballer than Mount. So
that's
if
right.
Mount's gone with 1 year left on his contract, Eze is worth around 60 million. But Decore is not worth that. He's worth 30 million at max. But then again, how much is Crystal Palace buying for Decore? Let me find
I don't
out
know.
here. Crystal
But either way,
Palace
we can't be paying
sign
more than 50 for someone like him. He's not even a specialist six. He's more like a number 8 that can be a defensive option. He's not necessarily a number 6 out and out. And he's also like just not that
21.
great.
21 million they bought him for, rising to 21. So 18 million rising to 21 they bought him for.
Come on. You're telling me we're going out there and paying that much for him? Come on. Chat. Let's not be dumb.
I say
Enzo's better value for
45
money.
at max. 45 at
Enzo's a
max.
better number 6 than Decore. Like, he's a better number 6. He's not a better player. I'm not saying in all areas.
Mm.
Better number 6, bro. Like, out and out number 6. Enzo more suits it. That's not me saying not go and get anybody. I want competition for every position. If Jurgen Klopp sits there and says Endo is good enough to compete for this place, great. But now he needs to actually compete at a high standard. The same way that, last season or say this season, we're going in there with a lack of centre-backs. I don't think, and I think you can agree, Saeed, Gomez and Matip are good enough to adhere to the standards of a Virgil van Dijk and a Kanate. I don't think they're good enough to compete with them. So now we've got a competition imbalance. If one goes out, one goes in, but now we're considerably worse. Why not do something like what Arsenal attempted, which is let's go and get Timber, which means our starting centre-backs for now is Gabriel and Saliba. Timber can compete with Gabriel. And then you've got Ben White, who's also an option. That is some great depth in my eyes. I don't agree. And I think it's quite close together. I think you've got Saliba at the top and the other three can just compete for their positions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's the case for us. And I don't know why I raised those points. I did kind of go on a bit of a tangent there.
No, 100%. No, I get you. But the thing is, right, because I'm looking at it right now. Let me look at Yusuf Fafana. Where does he play?
We
Does he
talking about
play
the core, that's
CDM
right.
or
That's right.
central midfield? He plays central midfield, does he? Let me find out here now. I'm sure he's a 6, or is he more of a box to box? Let us know in the chat. But let me see here. We're looking at footy. Yeah, he says he could play 6, 8, or the kind of box to box role. But he apparently was on the verge of going to Nottingham Forest. I think they put a bid in, and I'm like, hold on a minute. That's another player that I'm thinking to myself, 35 million. That's relatively cheapish. But when you go to the Premier League, your price just goes up. It's mad. And Decore for me isn't worth 80 million. But that's the risk that you guys have done, James. You've missed out on Lavio, you've missed out on Caicedo, and now they know you are struggling. They know you are desperate. You become desperate. So what happens when you're desperate? You gotta pay up, man. Pay the money. Pay the money.
Saeed, did we not get a Champions League winner?
Champions League winner. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh, don't you believe me? Oh, wait there. Yeah, the chat will know what I'm on about. Just give me 1 second, Saeed. Saeed, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor in a second, okay? The favor
Yeah.
will be to share my screen.
Okay.
So just
Let me see that.
once. So basically, you just said like, oh, you played dumb. You never got the signings. This, that, and the la di da di da. But instead of getting some meaty 19-year-old or some flopper Chelsea, we got a Champions League winner. Get on this, right? Wait there.
What?
Wait there, Saeed. I'm not lying to you because you're looking at me like I'm on budge right now. Share
I
that,
don't know,
brother.
man. I'm like, yo, what's
Oh
going
yeah,
on, mate?
share that, brother. What does that say,
Okay.
Saeed? I asked what it said, Saeed. Oh shit, did he leave? Yeah. Wait there. Nah, Saeed. Like, don't you see what it says? I weren't lying.
That is absolutely wild. Let me take this off my screen, man. Are you? Oh my days! Man said the J League, Man said the J League. Are you mad? Are you crazy? Bro, that's
What?
mad. That's
All I'm
mad.
saying,
You are shameless. That for me, I've never reached that level of shamelessness here. And you have reached the top level of shamelessness. Like, guys, this guy will be officially awarded as the most shameless man I know. Crazy.
did you know? Did you know that Ronaldo is chasing that same competition right now? Yep, Ronaldo is dreaming to win the competition that friggin' Endo won.
Yeah, because most of the reason why he's there because of money, not
But I'm just
because
saying,
he
your
was
your
there
goat, your
in the
goat. Look
J
here,
League.
your goat, or you said was boss is now competing in that competition. What are you saying now, Said? Endo won it.
Well, he's there, in it. You know what I'm saying? He's there. He's enjoying life. He's winning trophies. He's done the biggest trophies. He's won
Let me
probably
just
more
ask.
than Liverpool Football
Let me
Club
just
in the
ask.
last how many years?
How many
You know,
AFC
so
Champions Leagues has Ronaldo got? How many AFC Champions Leagues has Ronaldo
none,
got? And
none.
how many has Enzo got?
Well, I don't even want to know. One.
I
Listen,
rest my
man. It,
case. I rest
you
my
know what?
fucking
I want
case.
to see. I
Fuck
want to
you
see
and
Endo
your Enzo
start
agenda.
next
What?
weekend.
What?
I want to see Endo start next weekend, and
Yes.
let's see how he fares against Tonali, against the
You fuck
big man
Tonali.
Joe Linton,
You
and
fuck
against
Joe Linton.
Bruno Gomes.
Is
I
that
want to
it?
see him.
Is that it?
Yeah, that is it. And the
He's
guy that
game
you're
up.
raving about, and the guy that you're raving about is absolutely well. I don't even want to know, man. But if that's what you're gonna do, we'll see. We'll see.
Better
But
than
no, in
McTominay,
all
by the way.
honesty, Liverpool need more. Liverpool need more. They need. They
Right.
need. They have to get more. And ultimately, you got what 8 days left in the window now. 8 days left for you to figure out what you guys need. Your backline, I'm still not sure about that one as well. So there's a lot to sort out, man. Have you been convinced by the first two games, or have you been kind of like Liverpool
Well,
decent, all right?
first half an hour against Chelsea, really good. Final bit of the game, not good. First 20 minutes of Bournemouth, really bad. Rest of the game, good. That's the way I've sort of
Yeah.
assessed our season so far. Yeah, sometimes we can look like the Liverpool of old, and then there's just sometimes where we just look like one of the worst teams in the league. It's just, I don't know, we're finding like a weird balance at the moment. A lot of tactical changes needed to be made. And at the same time, if you watch us, Saeed, we kind of play with like a two at the pack, you know. Honestly, we get Trent as an inverted role midfielder. Apparently, it's a double pivot, and then you play with the three at the back. So three at the back, double pivot, and then you've got
Oh,
five
can't
players
stand
attack.
this, man.
So then Robbo is now like, Chatter, you want it? He's like a left centre back dash left winger. I don't know how to explain it, but like he just fucking he bombs it up the pitch. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh for fuck's sake, why is he controlling the whole flank by himself? So from that aspect,
You like this though? Do you
what?
like this idea that I'm not saying we're copying styles, but I feel like everybody's doing this back three, and you have your fullback tucking in. I'm like,
We
what
need
happened
to
to the
fuck it
fullbacks
off.
bombing on forward? Like, I get
No,
this new
you
style of football. Go
Nah,
on.
but we're just trying to do the friggin' I think we're doing 17, 18. See, remember when we had like when we were scoring mega goals in 17, 18, and we were just
Yeah, yeah.
but we weren't one of the best teams in the world at this stage. We were just scoring goals. I think we're trying to just do this. I think we're just trying to win games like 4-3, bro. Honestly, I think we're just here for vibes.
But you know what it is though? You've got the gunmen up front, so you have got killers. You've got Jota,
Yeah.
you've got Diaz, you've got no, not Nunez, but you've got Salah. You've got these players in there that are
Do you
gunmen.
know what
So I
though?
get what it means.
Even Nunez, who's technically like third choice striker right now, that's not bad. That's fantastic depth. Like Nunez, like you've got Gakpo number
Nah,
one.
come on,
But
man. That's
no,
not
think
it.
about it.
Nah, come on.
As their choice.
Third choice when he was meant to be that main guy. Come on, man. If
Okay,
that was
in
any other
comparison, no,
player,
wait there. In comparison to what he was supposed to achieve, fine. Would you take Martial if he was fit as a backup? You would, wouldn't you?
Martial and Nunez, would you say they're the same player
I
for the
think
height?
Martial's better, but there's inconsistencies with both is the point. And even though Martial is underachieved, the same way Nunez is underachieved, I don't think Martial has done anything to get to his level now. The same way I don't think Nunez has done anything to get to that price tag.
So why
However,
did you buy
he's
him
still
then
good.
to be third choice? Why did you buy him? Why did
Now
Klopp
that's
buy
a
him?
different conversation, and I don't agree that we should have bought him. I don't know why. I think we bought him with the intent of making him a first team player, and then I think 5 months in, Klopp sat there and kind of came to his senses, got off the German ciggies, and said, "Okay, Gakpo's actually significantly better than Nunez. James was right. So now I'm going to drop Nunez, and unfortunately, even though it means we spent 65 million, Well, now we've got a better player in Gakpo, and we know now this guy can be a backup. So I think we didn't mean to bring him in as a third choice. I'm just saying that's how it is now. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So let's
I
say
get what you mean.
Jota's number 1, Gakpo's number 2, or either way, it's one of those, and then Nunez is number 3. If we had that type of depth in various positions, the midfield and centre backs, amazing. But we don't. And that's what I don't understand, whether it's Jürgen, whether it's the club, whoever's sitting there saying, look how many attacking options we've got, isn't it so great? But then you see the midfield and you say, that is also so great. And then you look at centre backs and you say, that is also so great. It's inconsistent. So I just think that there's just so many differences and so many people disagreeing with at our football club right now. The owners, the manager, everyone's just disagreeing with each other. So I just think it creates one big ball of clusterfucks.
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, I think with Nunez there's no point shoehorning him in. If it doesn't fit the system, doesn't fit what you're trying to do, there's no point shoehorning a player in. But at the same time, it's like it's an expensive mistake. It could work in the Europa League, and he might do well in Europe, etc., etc.
I think he's doing the Divock Origi thing because he has scored big goals. Like he scored against you guys, he scored against Real Madrid. Like, whoa, what the fuck? How many Champions League final goals has Martial and Rashford scored combined, you fuck?
No, it's not about that. I respect Divock Origi's kind of
You
input
touched
and
the nerve.
output.
I just want you to know you rattled me. You rattled me then. You successfully
Nah,
rattled
but
me.
when
How
you're
dare you
talking
laugh like that?
Divock Origi and Nunez is mad.
No, Origi's better
I'm
than
not
Nunez.
saying about you because you never hyped him up. I'm going to give you
Oh,
your
I know.
two. You and Grizz
You're
Carr.
saying
I'm going to give
Liverpool
you your
fans
two.
who are gassing him. Nah, I get you.
Yeah, Liverpool fans are like, Nunez is here. He's a main striker. And then now I'm hearing Divock Origi and Impact. And I'm like, I just can't believe
suggested
it, man.
Origi was better. Now I will most likely get shot outside my house for what I've said. This is why I stay in a lot of the time. Because Nunez super fans come to me and go, James, you're not giving them a chance. Even though I think 12 months is certainly more than a chance. I think 12 months is more than a chance. And by the way, I used my eye test prior to him joining, and I remember he was linked with you guys, and I said, that would be a fucking amazing opportunity missed because I don't want him. And I'd rather get Ivan Toney. And the fact that Brentford have a better striker than us, I think, speaks volumes. And the fact he was compared to Haaland, he's been nowhere near that.
Yeah. And by the way, the Brentford striker, what's his name? Ivan Toney. By the way, I don't know if you've seen him this week. He's come out and talked about Liverpool and Arsenal. Obviously, Man United have been linked. Like, would you take Ivan Toney, or do you think you know what?
I'm biting your fucking hands off for Ivan Toney. Don't mind if I diddly fucking do. Give me Gakpo, give me Jota. Until then, and we do a swap deal for Nunez and Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, get on this. Ivan Toney might just be the second best striker in the league currently. Haaland's there. Now, if you want to throw in Isaac, fine. Now, name who's above them. Name who's above them right now. Who's above
those? See what
Hoyland's
about and see what he can do. But again,
fuck Hoyland, right? Saeed, wait there. You're not going to tell me a boy with back problems who scored 9 goals in the Serie A is in this conversation.
No, I'm just saying. Like, let's see what he's about.
Let's be sensible. No, let's just be sensible, Saeed. You were doing so well up until I cannot even believe you mentioned that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It is Ivan Toney. It is Ivan Toney.
Really?
I'm trying to think of other better players.
More Isaac. They're the only guys who can chat to. Alvarez is boss, but he's not the second best striker in the league. Come on.
No.
How can you say a bench player is the second best striker in the league? Come on, guys. Come on. Let's not be dumb.
You know what it is though? It's quite worrying that we don't have many strikers in the Premier League that are gunmen, in it. Like it's the wingers. Like, there's not been a kind of a crazy amount of goals in the Premier League so far, apart from, let's say, Aston Villa, Newcastle have scored a couple of goals in that aspect, but it's not been crazy amount of goals. People are saying Watkins. I think Watkins has the potential, but he's
second
not
best in the league.
No, he's not second best in the league. He's up there in maybe top 5 now, top 5, top 6. Watkins is scoring goals.
Oh, no. He's not top 5. Come on, guys. Let's not be dumb.
I'm saying he could. No, in terms of consistency, this season he could get to that levels because there's not many other strikers that are going to get goals. Out and out strikers now. Who are they? That's out there. Evan Ferguson. You've got
Jota's better than Watkins.
Jota. Yeah, I agree with that one. I agree.
Yeah, Jota's better than Watkins. Alvarez is better than Watkins. Haaland's better than Watkins. Toney, Isaac. If you want to play Rashford as striker, I think he does more of a job.
No. I'll take Watkins over Rashford as striker.
I'm taking Rashford all day. I'm not even a fan of Rashford like that, but I'm taking him over 100%.
Are you crazy?
Watkins has been media at times. Well, what the fuck was
Nah, man.
Watkins?
I'm taking Watkins ahead of striker. At striker position over Rashford. Have you watched
He's
Rashford
EFL
at striker?
certified, bro. He's EFL certified. He's an EFL
Nah,
merchant.
man.
Watch him.
He's a. You
He
know what
comes
it
in
is
the
there?
Premier League and
I think
scores
with
no more than
Watkins.
7 goals.
Nah, he scored what? He scored double figures last season, and the
How
season
many,
before
chat?
that, he scored double figures as well. Let's look
Was
at
it 10?
Watkins' record. Let me find out here. Watkins Premier League. Look at his record. Player profile.
Oh, he scored
Premier League.
14. Fair play. That's good, to be fair.
14, bro. What are you talking
Nah,
about,
that's
man?
good.
Come
Nah, that's
on,
good.
man. Give him
That's
some
good.
respect, man.
Don't be a stat
Respect,
merchant, bro.
respect.
Don't be a stat merchant. Callum
Let me look
Wilson.
at
Callum Wilson's definitely better than him. Can
You
we
know
both
what?
agree there?
I'm trying to think.
Chat, come on. He's
Who would
having a
I want?
dum-dum moment. We can
Callum
chat.
Wilson
Chat,
or
we can all agree.
Watkins?
Chat, we can all
Mitchell
agree
is just
he's
he's
having a
left
dum-dum
out.
moment right now, innit? How are you not saying Callum Wilson? Callum Wilson was certified at Bournemouth, and then now he's smashing it up for Newcastle. He got 20 goals. Wait there, chat. How many goals did he get last year? It was loads, wasn't it?
You know what
Nunez
it is
got
with
9.
Callum Wilson, yeah? I like him, yeah, but there's something missing from Callum Wilson's game. I don't know what it is. I can't quite. I don't know if he's not got that explosiveness, whether he's the kind of guy that uses his intelligence a little bit more and he isn't. That, like Isaac, for me, I would want Isaac up front rather than Callum Wilson. But I don't know what it is with Callum Wilson. Something's just missing from him. Is anyone? He's for me, he's a good like striker, but he's not a glamorous striker in that sense. Like
Yes,
he's
he's
just
right.
clinical. He's clinical. He runs a lot. He works hard, but he doesn't give you something that Watkins will do, where he'll burst the pace and he'll probably show you down the line, and you know what I mean. He'll break lines. I don't know. Something's missing from his game that I don't know. You know, more of
Someone
a
just said
poacher.
in the
Yeah,
chat, no respect for I9 in Tottenham.
R9. Listen, man, Troy. He's a lost cause, him man. He's a lost cause, mate. He's an
Do you
absolute lost
remember?
cause.
Do you remember when do you remember when friggin' Ivan, sorry, not Ivan Tony, Mikel Antonio and Callum Wilson went on live stream and ripped into Richarlison?
You know what?
Bro,
Do you agree with that? By the way, do you agree with that? Because I think it's a bit of banter. I don't understand that. It's a bit
bro.
of banter.
Richarlison needs to stop being a pussy, bro. He's a little shit house
Tell
as
him,
well.
man,
Like,
and
if you're
tell
gonna
Toby
give
as
it,
well.
take it. Like, yeah, do you know when I come out and I have banter with people, I need to know that I can take it as well. Otherwise, I don't think it's fair exchange. Bro,
Yeah.
Mikel Antonio, like, actually was factual as well, by the way. And then because Richarlison was being a prick with them two, he thought, fuck it, like, I'm not just going to let him chat to me like that. And
Yeah.
then Callum Wilson said
Facts.
something, and people were responding to Callum Wilson like he was some little dude, like, oh, but you don't play in the World Cup. Meh, meh, meh. Well, look at the goal scoring difference of both of their careers, by the way. Callum Wilson is clear of Richarlison, and it's not even close. Like, the fact that you
Hey,
guys
that's
even...
bro. That's no way is it close, man. That
Bro,
Richarlison's a lost cause. I mean,
Richarlison is finished. I remember I went on the Big Six in it, and Toby was there,
yeah,
and they just signed Richarlison, and I was like, Toby, I love you. You've got a meaty player. He was like, no, James, no, no, no. I was like, yep, you've got a meaty baller. And then you know what Toby does? He tries to fit you with an agenda, and he's like, just because you're a Liverpool fan, oh yeah, you're now wrong. That's the only
yeah,
reason why you're saying it. I'm like, no, Toby, genuinely he is shit. There was a reason why I was fine with him staying at Everton. It's because I did not fear Richarlison at Everton. I thought he was quite meaty. Thought he was a slightly more skillful Anthony Gordon. But otherwise, we're now at a standpoint where you're relying on him as one of your main dudes. That's a problem. That's a
yep.
huge problem.
Facts. You're relying on him as one of your main guys, man. But who are we saying? Yeah, when we look at the worst strikers in the Premier League, what would be your top
Yes.
5 worst strikers in the Premier League? And chat,
My
you can
top
get involved as
5.
well. Your
My
top
top 5,
5
did you
worst
say?
strikers in the Premier League right now.
The worst?
Yes, because you put Richarlison in
Okay,
there.
then. Okay, okay then. That's an interesting thing. Okay, so like starting strikers, like players who play regularly in that position, and who's the worst. Okay. I'll go Richarlison. No order. Richarlison. I think it'd
Oh,
be
there's a
unfair to
lot of
put
bad
Nunez, but he
ones,
is a
man.
match. There's so many bad ones. Who do you have a striker? You don't even have a striker, do
I'm
you?
gonna put Neil Mopay in there. Neil Mopay's in
Neil
there.
Mopay's a great show. Well done, you. Well done. That's a great show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I need to be thinking of. Okay.
Richarlison.
Richarlison, Mopay. Chris Woods would have been there for a minute. I don't know if he's in the Premier League no more.
Nah, he is, but he scored on the weekend. He scores the odd goal here and there, but I get what you mean. I'm
Nah,
going Calvert-Lewin third. Calvert-Lewin.
I don't think he's the worst, though. He just doesn't play in it.
Okay. You know what? That's a bit. Yeah, I'll take that away.
But
I'm gonna go with
Raul Jimenez is a shout. I
Nunez.
think Raul Jimenez has been shit recently.
Nunez. I'm gonna go with Nunez third.
See, I don't even think I put Nunez. Are you putting Nunez in 5 worst?
I'm putting Nunez in there. Yeah.
He got 9 Premier
Raul
League goals though
Jimenez.
still, and he got 15. He got 15 in all competitions.
Nah, because I just don't like. For me, I just think you know what, man. It's a high volume striker. Like you know, one of them ones where the amount of chances Liverpool were getting, I just think, and he missed a lot as well. He could have got more.
I think Solanke's
So
worse
when you
than
look
Nunez now.
at Solanke,
I think he's worse than Nunez. Come on. He is worse than Nunez.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. Vinicius from Fulham.
By the way,
He's
I could
shocking.
Said I could throw in Martial.
Mateta. There you go. There's my 5.
Okay, I'm going to go with Martial. I'm going to say Solanke. I'm going to say Mopai. I'm going to say... Nah, Edward's decent chat. What are you on about? I'm trying to copy you here.
Nah, Mateta's worse, mate. Mateta's worse.
Go on, I'll put Mateta in there. And then Bamford. Oh, no, wait there. Bamford isn't here no
Bamford
more.
plays, man. Shout out to Joe, but Bamford ain't here anymore. He's in his championship
Jimenez,
struggling.
I'll put Jimenez as my last one.
Yeah. I'm not going to put Antonio in there, you know. You know why I don't put Antonio? Because this guy, he's a workaholic, man. I like his effort, man. I like his desire.
Yeah, he's definitely not 5 worst. He ain't 5 worst.
He's not 5 worst, man. He's not. I'm sorry, but he's not. You know what I'm saying
think
to
you're
you?
quite disingenuous saying Nunez 5 worst, you know.
You know what? Maybe I am, but like you're not gonna mind, are you?
I won't mind. I'm not going to complain too much. I'm not going to complain.
You ain't gonna complain. So
Chat, just know that I don't go too far on the Nunez thing, though, innit?
Yeah, you did it. You did it. To be fair, you didn't go too far, guys. There's still over 1,000 people watching. Make sure you guys are liking the video. There's 347 likes. Let's get up to 500 people, man. There's over 1,000 in here, so we should get that up to 500. Oh, Lukaku. I forgot about Lukaku.
Nah, Ryan Brewster. He's the only one with a Champions League in my 5 worst. Nah, lad. He's my guy, but he's definitely one of the worst. He's done shit, bro.
You know what it is, though? Ryan Brewster, yeah, like, he's playing for Sheffield United right now. Sheffield United have just bought a striker right now in Cameron Archer. I think, is it Cameron Archer that they've just bought in? Let me just go and see if that's true as well. But they've literally gone and buy Cameron Archer from, I think it's Villa for 18 million. Like that Brewster, man, like his career should have went up. It's a sad reality, man.
Yeah, he was actually a nice striker. He was nice. I think he was more Moneyball. It was just like bring him in from Chelsea when he was really young. Hope he can do a bit of a Raheem Sterling, increase his value, and then go. Because that's what FSG do. That a Moneyball, the aim to be a Moneyball ownership, which I think is productive. I just don't think they do it the best of times. So yeah, I think from that census, I think it makes a lot of. To be honest with you,
still 23, man. Still 23. He's still 23 years old, Ryan Brewster.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck, man. He's actually still solid, to be honest. He do jobs.
Nah, Welbeck's my guy, man. Big up to Welbeck.
Welbeck's solid, bro. Like, Welbeck's actually a solid striker. He still does a job nowadays.
Solid. Yeah, he still does a job. He'll still give you a team. He'll still work hard. He'll still run the channels. He'll still create spaces for others. So, in that aspect, I'll probably give it him. I'm going to move on to Man United, even though I don't want to. Big up to HS says, Cassie gets slated for a long 6. Not fair. He's a destroyer, not a register. Gattuso to Pirlo, i.e. But yeah, United, listen, it's not looking good right now. We've just lost Mason Mount to injury. Yeah, Mason Mount's injured. I don't know whether that's...
Is Mason Mount injured? That could be good.
Yeah, Mason Mount's injured. They haven't told us the injury, by the way, which is a bit strange.
Yeah, when that happens, it might just be because they don't know, though. They might have not got a proper assessment on it yet. You can't label a length of injury at some points. So,
but there you go. But listen, people say to me, "Oh, Saeed, you didn't want him anyway, so why are you complaining?" No, it's the fact that we don't have now a outfield player in the Manchester United team that is fit. How thick are you, man? Like, seriously, these people that think, I've got an agenda against certain players and what. I didn't want A, Mason Mount, and B, I'm about the team. Do you not understand that? Right. This team suffers if there's no outfield players that are new from the following season. That is crazy. Manchester United have no outfield players ready for Nottingham Forest. Onana is not an outfield player. even though he plays like one. But that is shambles, man. People say, "Oh, why he glazes out?" or "What's going on?" And partly Ten Hag is to blame because he then hasn't bought the right amount of players in the key positions, and he hasn't
That's right.
targeted midfielders. But bro, to have the same midfield as last season, that is embarrassing, man.
A problem. It's a huge problem. I have a lot of concerns for your team right now, and it's based on your manager's decisions, not necessarily the money you've
So
spent.
I
I,
want
I,
honesty. I
yeah,
want
I think
honesty.
I think it was him. But do you know what though, Saeed? I've tried to provide this for you for a while, but I do think everyone blindly went into the Ten Hag thing and not analysed the fact that at Ajax it was completely different to what it is at United. He had the top resources and top academy. He
Facts.
didn't control the ins and outs. He just managed and coached. I think he's still a great
Yep.
coach. In fact, I think he's one of the top coaches. I'm not just saying he's a good coach over there. I think he's a top coach. But when it comes to his identification of players, no, that just shouldn't be the guy doing it. You need to get someone who's adequate enough to come in and actually do that job. You guys threw the fucking something off the roof when you let go of Ragnick. That guy is a top. Do you know what, Saeed? I'm sitting there now saying I wish we could have Ragnick. I think Ragnick would be a fantastic board of director for Liverpool. Board of director, wow. To give him the manager role was stupid from your owners, so I understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
But like when
It was
Ten Hag
interim
came
though,
in,
which I could get
well,
that. I'd rather have an interim than rather have a long term that I don't really like. You know what I mean?
I
But I
get you.
get it. Go on.
I understand what you're saying. To be fair, nah, yeah. Instead, wait for Ten Hag instead of getting some meaty guy. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, me the guy.
Um,
Yeah.
but then what should have happened next was Ragnick now goes to the footballing director. Like I believe it was originally supposed to be that, correct? And
Yeah.
then didn't Ten Hag say no? Like I want to do it myself. Am I right in saying
Basically,
that?
there was a clash. I believe there was a clash with Myrtle, first of all, in terms of ideology, because Myrtle gave him a 2-year role as a
Yeah.
consultant. And then all of a sudden, it then didn't work out. And then what happened was there must have been a clash of ideas. And
Mhm.
then people then said, you know what? No, Ten Hag isn't really fancying it, and he wants to control everything that's going through the football club. And you can see that by the way the signings have gone in. Most of them are his guys or that he knows of, and he has probably took more control of the transfer window. When I don't think that should be the case. I think there should be a balance. Should be a balance from the DOF, and should be a balance from the manager. This is in my eyes and my kind of perspective. And this is where, for me, having Ragnick in there, when he looked at Caicedo, when you're looking at Enzo Fernandez, Alvarez, these are the guys that he was looking at. Benjamin Sesko, all these guys were coming under his watch, Ralph Ragnick. But I tried to say, you know what? I understand if Ten Hag wants his guys. I tried to, but now when you look back on it, you're like, that was a costly mistake. Even if you have him in the background as a consultant, it's somewhat of benefit. He can be an advisor to Ten Hag. But I don't know whether it's egos, whether it's people just don't want to do it,
I
and
think
Ten
maybe
Hag
Ten
saw
Hag.
his way.
I think maybe Ten Hag genuinely sat there and thought, okay, I will be good enough to rebuild this team. I think he believed it. I think he believed I think he trusted in his own talent identification, and he realised the ball was in his yard, in his half of the court. And I think he
Yeah,
looked at the owners and said, "Listen, you want me. I want to come, but it's got to be under my conditions." Because I'm not going to do
yeah,
what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did. I'm not going to do what all these managers did. And listen to you fucks. I want full control over the finances and the ins and the outs of the football club. If I don't
yeah,
finalise it, I don't want anyone going. And if I don't finalise it, I don't want anyone coming in. Now, that's where I think he's put a bit too much faith in himself, opposed to sticking to what he knows. It's like a footballer now trying to become a basketballer. Makes no sense. Stick to what you're good at. Don't now just think you can do something else because you was good at one thing. The same way I would sit there and say, I love Klopp as a coach, but he's certainly not competent enough to be a sporting director. And I don't want Klopp wasting his weekends and
no
wasting his energy looking into scouting reports and looking into players from all over the
facts.
world. Give that to somebody who's got the time to do it, gets paid to do it, and can do it, who's got more experience and is more capable. Don't put a coach in a position of scouting play. It's a different day. Pep Guardiola, I don't dispute.
Bro.
I don't dispute Pep Guardiola can say yes and no on transfer, but he has the perfect board behind him. The same way at Brighton, there's the perfect board behind the manager. So it's not just the manager. That's why we loved
Have you
Michael
noticed as
Edwards.
well? And even Arsenal to an extent now, Edu. Have you noticed they're the three now that are the leading people in terms of recruitment? I know
Yeah.
Chelsea are doing what they need to do, but Brighton, Arsenal, and now Man City are doing things correctly.
I think the
because they've
recruitment
actually
can
got
still be questioned at Chelsea. You can respect the ambition of Chelsea, but the recruitment is
because
what can be questioned.
yeah. No, 100%. It has to be a together. There has to be a balance, man. And this is where
That's
I'm
right.
like, bro, because Anthony is an expensive mistake. And I'm looking at it. Yes, Ten Hag wanted it for the right price. But if you
Yes.
imagine I say to you right now, yeah, I want something from you. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, but you know what? It's 2 weeks to go, and you still need that product, and you still need that thing. You're gonna by the end of it, you're gonna say, you know what? No, just go and get it. Whatever it takes, get it
Yes.
done.
That's
And
right.
that's what happened with Anthony. It was like, you know what? You've been waiting for 6 weeks. Get it
Yeah.
done. And Ten Hag was adamant that that was his guy. He's been with him. He's
Yes.
had him for a couple of seasons,
That's
and it
right.
has worked at Ajax. But that naivety in maybe a DOF that would bring it and say, you know what? Are you sure the Premier League? We could look at alternative options. You know, there's some other options out there. You know, I don't know
That's
who
right.
was out there at the time, but there were other options out there. We could have said, you know what? We'll look at this solution here. But obviously, Ten Hag then is in control in that regard. So, and Anthony, for me, man, bro,
Jeez,
I
big
don't
up it is.
understand Anthony, man. I've got him on my wall. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, he's right there. And I'm
Oh,
trying to
Saeed,
take
you're
it
lucky
down.
that the light's covering that because I never clocked. Now you need to get that off
Yo,
your wall, broski.
I need to get it off, man. I might have to get someone else on now
Nah,
because
you will
I'm
have to.
backing you. You know what I mean? I'm backing you, but I'm like, bro, it ain't working, broski.
What made you put that there? Was it just like a photo that you could just put there?
You know what? I actually got it as a gift, you know. I actually got it
Oh,
as a
that's
gift.
nice.
Yeah, someone that I know got it signed from him. So if you can see there, it's signed from him actually. But
Oh,
one
that's sick.
person that I know, yeah, so one person that I know got it from me, and they got it signed from him. So I just obviously thought, you know what, I'll just put it on there, innit? You know, it's one of them
Defo
where
keep it.
you
Defo
know.
keep it. But in shot,
But
now
maybe
that's
if I
where we got
take
to
it
ask you.
down, he might perform. Maybe if I take it down, he might perform.
I don't know.
You think so?
I don't think that's the way it works.
Yeah. Maybe I get another player. Maybe I might just go and get someone else in there. Yeah, you know what's mad, yeah? I've got I've got
I'm
number
surprised you haven't got
Cantona.
Sancho behind you.
So I've got Cantona there. I've
That's
got
fine.
Beckham, Brian Robson, Cristiano Ronaldo, George Best,
Good so far.
and
We're
then
good.
and then I've got Anthony.
The modern day superstar, bro. He's the one who's leading the next
It's mad,
generation of
isn't it, though?
United fans. That's the new
It's the
standards.
wall of shame, man. It's
The
the
wall
wall
of
of. But
shame.
then again, I've got legends on here. I've got my position here. You know what I mean? And then obviously, it's just it's not
It's
there,
like
innit? You know what I mean?
it's odd evolution chatter. You're onto the theory of evolution where it's like monkey, this, that, human. That's like
Yeah.
great, 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 even better, amazing, shit. It's like we've done a reverse. It's like we've gone back in society, you know what I mean? We haven't got smarter. We've just got significantly worse and we're back to being apes. Like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Saeed. I think that's a poor. I think the Anthony thing is a poor choice. But now that you've told me the context of how you got that and why you got that,
Yeah.
I have a little bit
Yeah.
more sympathy for you.
Yeah. So it's one of them where I'm like, yo, listen.
De-evolution,
But
yeah.
the evolution, yeah, de-evolution. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you know what it is though? I think for me, you know what, man? I think with Anthony, it's a lost cause. But I'm thinking one more season. This is his last season for me. If he produces, he produces. But I just can't see the basics, man. I'm like, he ain't got no right foot. He can't beat a man. He's shooting his here and there. Like you might get an odd curler, and you're like,
Yeah,
wow, like yo, what a goal. But then
that's
most of
right.
them are just it's average, man. He's you know what it is, yeah. I feel like it's a player that's just dropped in, and it's like it's just one of the people of Ten Hag's. It's like you know when you used to play in like school back in the day, and the coach would have
Yes,
his son or his family member brought in just because
yes.
they would have a divine right to play because it was their family member or their son. That is him. That is Anthony. He's brought him in and said, no, he must play because that's my guy. He's my guy. He's my guy.
He's your
You know
guy.
what I'm saying? So it ain't easy, man. But
Your whole front three lacks so much firepower. It's insane. Um, you know, if Rashford isn't scoring, you've got a real issue. Like in that front three, it is. I could argue it's the worst. No, not the worst. Let me reevaluate. In the top,
yeah,
in
in
the
other
top,
words, yeah.
top five teams. Sorry, I was going to say in top five teams. I wasn't going to say in the league, but in top five teams. Okay, Chelsea are pretty average as well, but then they're a top 5 team. Nah, it's up there, though. What I'm saying, for a team who's aiming to compete for the league soon, it's nowhere near that standard. If you think about City, you think about Arsenal, and even if you want to throw us into the mix, it's just not on that level. And it's not even close based on a collective attacking basis. And I think that's something that we can both agree on. I don't think I've said anything too controversial there. I think if Rashford's not
No,
scoring, years have got a problem. And I think now that Bruno isn't as offensive as what he used to be, it definitely takes away from his numbers as
exactly.
well. As Bruno used to play
Yeah.
higher than Firmino, bro. I remember for a season seeing the average position of Firmino and the average position for Bruno. One was a midfielder, one was a striker. Bro, Firmino was like at the halfway line and Bruno was like in the box constantly. But it worked. And
He was a
it worked for
striker.
Bruno.
He was a striker
He
almost,
was
you know what I
he
mean?
was the main outlet for your team, you know what I'm saying? Like, we get
Yep.
it to Bruno and we hope he puts it away, and he done a great job at that. The second he was told to be more creative is, I think, when it started to go slightly downhill for Bruno. I think when he was getting the numbers, that was protecting the deficiencies of his game and what his game brings.
And not for me though. You know what it is for me? I've gone to the point now where I just want good footballers, you know. You know what it is, yeah, in life, yeah. You can have a guy who is a volume striker or is a volume passer or whatnot. You can have them. What about just having good footballers, James? I
Quality.
just want good footballers that take care of the ball, that play well in the system, that play well in a team, that are team players, that don't just give the ball every 20 seconds. Like, I just want to know that have we got players that can play football?
That's why
But
I'm
again, I
happy.
have to
That's why I'm happy. We never went. We never, because I know United fans have this belief that we directly went for Mason Mount. We inquired about him. We may have had a conversation. It weren't a case of us putting a bid on the table or anything. And I'm very happy we never did that. I'm happy we pursued Soboslai instead of Mason Mount, because
Yeah.
regardless whether we would have been successful with Mason Mount or not, because I think he'd have chose you anyway. But I'm just saying, if we were serious, we're getting what is hopefully going to be an efficient player. We've got enough of them. We need someone who, like you say, he's a baller. And that's why I appreciate Soboslai. He's more well-rounded. He can create something out of nothing. And that's what you
He's a
need
good
in your
player,
midfield,
man.
I think.
Szoboszlai. I watched him at RB Leipzig, man. He was a terrific player, man.
Quality, bro.
Even for Hungary as well, quality player as well, man.
He's got a
Captain for Hungary at
mentality
what
of steel.
22?
He's got a
Yeah,
mentality of steel. Not like when you watch Onana and you love his interviews because he's just a serious dude and he just says the right things. Soboslai came out after Bournemouth. He'd done a Roy Keane. He was like, I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? Like, he came out and was just like, you don't need to praise me for doing the basics. You know what I mean? But I do hope to come out and play in front of these fans 1,000 more times, and I hope to keep delivering. And I thought that was the best way to be. And I think for the fact that he's
yeah.
won a trophy in every single year of his career, you see clips like the penalty with Neymar where he was like, I always score. When Neymar was like, you sure you're going to score? He's like, I always score. Come on, bro. Like, don't even patronize me. Do you know what I love about Soboslai's pens? Watch his penalty compilations. He always goes left.
Oh, breaking news.
What?
Breaking news, David Ornstein bomber. Oh my days.
Is it United related?
Even no, it's Man City related.
Wait,
Oh
what?
my days.
Wait, what?
Guess what?
What?
They're going in for Mathias Nunez.
Oh, shit, not Darwin.
No, not Darwin. Manchester City exploring the deal to sign Mathias Nunez from Wolves.
That's not
24-year-old
surprising.
high among small pool of Man City FC options to bolt a midfield. The Wolves unlikely to welcome interest so late would bring funds to strengthen the team. I think this is a
Do you remember?
very, very, very good signing. I
I agree.
genuinely mean that. He's got power. He's got trickery. Technically very, very good. Box to box. Brings goals. Bro, it's a perfect signing for Manchester City.
Have you
He's
heard what
honest.
Pep Guardiola said about that player before? When he used to play for Sporting, he said after the game
No, what did
between
he say?
City and Sporting, he said that Nunez was like one of the best midfielders in the world. That's what Pep said after the Sporting game
What?
When
I
City
didn't see that
played
interview. Shall we find
when
that interview?
when City played Sporting Lisbon. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I do believe he came out after and said Nunez is one of the best midfielders in the world. Is that correct? He'd be a good player though.
Find out.
He's definitely one that Pep wants, no doubt. Because if that is true, what I've just said,
Oh
that's
yeah,
why
you're
they'll be
right.
going for them.
You're right, you know. I'm
Did
gonna
he come
bring the
out and say it?
interview out right now. Yeah, he did, you know.
That was a couple of years ago as well, wasn't it?
Wow, he did. I'm just watching it right now. I just
Yeah,
seen it
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. He did say it. He did say
So
it.
chat, just
Best
to even
footballer in the
relay it,
world.
just to relay a post Champions League, he came out and said that Nunez is one of the best midfielders in the world. And I remember this because we were linked with Nunez, and that's one thing that Alex AGT, he mentions it to me. I was like, did Pep actually say he was one of the best in the world? And that's always stuck with me because I was like, okay, even though he's not based on our opinions and how we perceive football, it's interesting that Pep was looking at it through a different lens based on what he believed Nunez can do. So when someone in the chat says like it's a good signing because City signed him, you're damn right, because now Pep is going to sign a player and be able to maximise his abilities. And it's a player, quite clearly from that interview, he's looked at for a while in high regard. So I think not only is that a good club signing, I think that's a good Pep signing because he wanted to.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I think that's a top signing, man. Listen, he's a hidden gem. I think, Liverpool could have done with him. No, to be fair,
I
Liverpool
wish,
don't
I
need him
wish
now.
we,
Now
I
you
wish
got,
we exercised it. I wish
but
we
you,
exercised.
you wanted him a couple of years ago, didn't you? Was it 2
Yeah,
years
last
ago?
year.
1 year ago?
Last year we
year.
were mainly looking for it. Yeah.
I think United could have done with him as well, just because of the physicality he could bring with you. We lack a lot of physicality in this midfield. And I think for me, he's a good ball carrier as well. You could have brought him and possibly Amrabat for what? I'd reckon Nunez is about 50, 60 million, and you're looking at Amrabat 25 million. So it
Yes.
would be an interesting thing. So yeah, listen, we'll see what happens with that one. But again, Man City don't play around, do they, man? They don't play around, man. That's what I'm
Bro,
saying. How can you catch them when they don't play around? They
well, it's
almost know
annoying.
what to do next.
Well, it's annoying because if we sign Kovacic or you sign Kovacic, there's now a question. Can Kovacic relay what he's done bits of Chelsea, at Liverpool and United? Whereas if he goes to City, you know he's going to do what he needs to do because he's an on-the-ball player and City dominate on the ball. And there's a reason why they go with 4 centre-backs at the back, bro. Like, those guys literally they literally just defend, win the ball back and then control the game in possession. It's so like well-rounded, but so basic at the same time. It's like Pep Guardiola's a genius, man. And I think because Pep Guardiola's identified Nunez is why we're all sitting there saying, I think it'll be a good signing for them. And I think because Pep Guardiola has spoke highly of him before, it's why I'm even more encouraged that he's going to do well there, because it means he's not only got a plan, but he's low-key had a plan. Because he's probably sat there and thought, how would I incorporate him into my team? And now he's going to get to do that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But James, it's been a pleasure, man.
My guy,
You
bro.
have been
My
working
guy.
hard,
Much
my
love to
friend,
you,
today.
Saeed.
It's over 1,000 people here. I'm gonna check how many likes we're on. We need to be on 500
Please smash
before
those
this
likes,
stream,
people.
right?
Only because do you know what? If Saeed isn't going to Ashes, I want to Ashes just dead quick. Yeah, like, please do smash those likes for Saeed. He's here every day. I saw him do a 5-hour stream the other day. And also, like us, we
Bro.
don't do it for ego. It's not ego chat. It genuinely gets the stream more out there, gets a bit more viewership, just better for the content creator. So if we can smash them likes right now as I'm speaking, see them do a significant jump up. Do you know, like when a player goes up like 3 ratings on career mode and you get that 100% increase? It's like, that's what we want right now. We want 100% increase of likes. So big up the chat for the support that you show my channel and Saeed. And let's get those up, man.
Definitely, man. James, what you got going up, man?
Loads. Whatever news comes out during the day, there'll be one Redmond rounds up with the well, actually it's different music now, isn't it?
It's a different tune now. Who copyrighted it though? Who copyrighted it?
Whoever the fuck, I don't know. YouTube. It was just like the channel wherever the video came from or whatever.
Ah, man. Because I've got a tune called Mocha. It's called Mocha Painted. It's a theme tune. And to be fair, the guy hasn't copyrighted it yet. So, shout out to that guy, whoever it is.
Fair play.
But people like this tune. So fair play to Mocha.
Bro, it was when I came back to YouTube. It was when I came back to YouTube and I was sat there and I was like, shit, like, why is it getting copyrighted? And then I thought it's just like a one-time thing. And then it just got copyrighted again. And I was like, oh, I'm going to need to change it. But I think the alternative Redmond Rounds Up music is fine. I think it's not the worst.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think it's fine. I genuinely think it's fine, man. So, yeah.
So, there'll be that. And then there'll be a live stream tonight and that's it.
Yeah. No, big up, man. Big up, man. Like I said, people, make sure you follow James Redmond TV. I'll be back at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. I'll be back for Mandem Talk. Tune in. We'll be talking about the midfield issues and whatnot at Man United. And yeah, man, this has been the Northwest Divide. We are out.